Some World War II rifles became legends. Others were so outdated they looked like they accidentally walked into the wrong war. Today, we rank them from battlefield embarrassment to absolute game changer. Starting in F tier, first we have the Volkssturmgewehr, which was Germany's late-war emergency rifle. It fired the 7.92 by 33 mm Kurz cartridge, but its rough construction and desperate production quality made it a weapon of collapse, not confidence. It was simple, cheap, and brutally practical, which is another way of saying Germany was running out of options. Next in the list is the Gewehr 41 Walther, a German semi-automatic rifle chambered in 7.92 by 57 mm Mauser. It used a 10-round internal magazine, but its gas trap system was heavy, dirty, and unreliable in field conditions. It tried to be modern, but the battlefield quickly reminded it to calm down. Next we have the Lebel 1886, the famous French bolt-action rifle in 8mm level. By World War II, it was already deeply outdated, with a tubular magazine and awkward handling compared to newer rifles. It was historically important, but in this ranking, history points do not save you. Moving into D tier, first we have the AVS-36 Simonov, a Soviet select-fire rifle chambered in 7.62 by 54 mm rimmed. It had a 15-round detachable magazine and was advanced for its time, but it was complicated, fragile, and difficult to maintain. It was ambitious, but ambition alone does not win a trench fight. Next in the list is the Berthier M16, a French bolt-action rifle in 8mm level. Its 5-round en-bloc clip was an improvement over earlier Berthiers, but the design still felt outdated by World War II standards. Reliable enough, yes, but nobody was calling it the future. Next we have the Carcano M91 an Italian bolt-action rifle most commonly associated with 6.5 by 52 mm Carcano service use. It was lightweight and handy, but its sights, ammunition issues, and mixed wartime production hurt its reputation. It was not useless, but it was not exactly terrifying anyone either. Now in C tier, first we have the Type 38 Arisaka, Japan's bolt-action rifle chambered in 6.5 by 50 mm. It had a strong receiver, good power, and solid reliability when properly manufactured. Late war examples could be crude, but the core design was much better than people often think. Next in the list is the SVT-38, a Soviet semi-automatic rifle chambered in 7.62 by 54 mm rimmed. It used a 10-round detachable magazine and gave Soviet troops more firepower than a standard bolt-action rifle. But it was too complex and delicate for mass wartime conditions, so the improved SVT-40 quickly replaced it. Next we have the MAS-36, a French bolt-action rifle chambered in 7.5 by 54 mm French. It was short, rugged, simple, and very reliable, with a 5-round internal magazine. It was not flashy, but unlike some rifles here, it actually understood its job. Continuing with the Mannlicher M1895, this Austro-Hungarian straight-pull rifle was still used in World War II by several forces. Most wartime examples fired 8 by 56 mm rimmed ammunition from a 5-round en-bloc clip. Fast to cycle, yes, but harsh recoil and outdated ergonomics kept it from ranking higher. Moving into C+ tier, first we have the Type 99 Arisaka, Japan's improved bolt-action rifle chambered in 7.7 mm. It had a strong receiver, good power, and solid reliability when properly manufactured. Late war examples could be crude, but the core design was much better than people often think. Next in the list is the Mosin-Nagant, especially the Soviet 9130 pattern and its carbine variants. It fired the powerful 7.62 by 54 mm rimmed cartridge from a 5-round internal magazine. It was rugged, cheap, and everywhere, but smooth handling was clearly not invited to the design meeting. Now in B tier, first we have the M1903A3 Springfield, an American bolt-action rifle chambered in .30-06 Springfield. It used a 5-round internal magazine and was accurate, reliable, and well-made. By World War II, it was no longer cutting edge, but it remained a serious rifle in trained hands. Last is the Karabiner 98K, Germany's famous bolt-action rifle in 7.92 by 57 mm Mauser. It was accurate, durable, compact for a Mauser, and fed from a 5-round internal magazine. Excellent rifle, but still a bolt-action rifle in a war increasingly ruled by semi-automatic fire. Next we have the Gewehr 43, Germany's improved semi-automatic rifle, chambered in 7.92 by 57 mm Mauser. It used a 10-round detachable magazine and was far more practical than the Gewehr 41. It gave German infantry better firepower, though production quality and reliability could vary. Continuing with the SVT-40, the Soviet semi-automatic rifle, chambered in 7.62 by 54 mm rimmed, it used a 10-round detachable magazine and offered strong firepower for a full-power service rifle. It was not perfect, but compared to many bolt actions, it felt like the future had arrived early. Moving into B+ tier, first we have the Lee-Enfield No4, the British bolt-action rifle, chambered in .303 British. Its 10-round magazine and fast cock-on closing bolt gave trained soldiers an excellent rate of fire. For a bolt-action rifle, it was dangerously close to cheating. Next in the list is the Johnson M1941, an American semi-automatic rifle chambered in .30-06 Springfield. It used a 10-round rotary magazine and had lighter recoil behavior than many full-power rifles. It was clever and effective, but limited production kept it from becoming a true war-changing weapon. Now in A tier, first we have the M1 Garand, the American semi-automatic rifle, chambered in .30-06 Springfield. It used an 8-round en-bloc clip and gave standard infantry powerful, reliable semi-automatic fire. In a world still full of bolt actions, the Garand was a very rude wake-up call. Next in the list is the FG-42, Germany's elite paratrooper rifle, chambered in 7.92 by 57 mm Mauser. It combined select fire capability, a 20-round magazine, and a compact layout for airborne troops. It was expensive and rare, but technically brilliant. Finally, in S tier, we have the Sturmgewehr 44, the German STG-44. It fired the 7.92 by 33 mm Kurz intermediate cartridge from a 30-round detachable magazine. It was controllable, practical, and far ahead of most infantry rifles of its time. This was not just another rifle, this was the blueprint for the modern assault rifle. So from desperate last-ditch weapons to true battlefield innovations, World War II rifles show exactly how fast infantry warfare changed. Some rifles were dragged into the conflict from an older age, built for battles that no longer existed. Others were rushed into service when armies were running out of time, materials, and better ideas. But in the middle of all that chaos, the future was already taking shape. Bolt-action rifles still proved their value with accuracy, reliability, and rugged simplicity. Semi-automatic rifles showed how much faster and more dangerous an ordinary infantryman could become. And finally, rifles like the STG-44 pointed toward a completely new era of practical, controllable firepower. Some rifles belonged to the past. Some were brave experiments that arrived too early, too late, or with too many problems attached. And a few pointed straight into the future, shaping the way soldiers would fight long after World War II ended.